ready and I just started chasing. Like, okay, but seriously though, we actually do have some decent development going on just north of Swift Current, kind of in the Kyle area. Storms are tracking right towards us at the moment. Here's the good news, folks. There is a heck of a lot of lightning in this storm, so that actually is a sign that it's actually a pretty strong storm. That doesn't mean that it is, but it does mean that there definitely is a chance. Like, it's growing, it's intensifying. We've got development, so we have pretty much all the things that we need for severe thunderstorms at the moment. We just do need to get them. They just do need to focus and get organized better than they are at the moment. They aren't horrible, but they definitely are not organized storms yet. They actually could definitely be severe storms at this point, like regarding just the heavy rainfall part, but not really anything more than just that at the moment. And I really hope my thumbnail didn't break this time. I'm fairly certain it did. Just that's how it works for me. Nothing really ever works, especially on these days where I don't really think I'm going chasing, and then it's like, surprise, you're chasing storms today. And I'm like, yay, that's a good thing, but I was not ready. Yeah, so it's one of those days today where that storms coming through. Like, I did know that the storms were coming, but I did not think they were going to push north. So like the low pressure center ended up actually backtracking kind of to the northwest a little bit, and then very quickly deepened. So never seen that before, but that's what's actually sparking the storms today. Right now it's only 4:30, so these storms are going to be getting organized here soon-ish. But we do have not a lot of time till we're there, but like a little bit of time until we're actually there. We're going to be able to turn south here, and we'll be able to start seeing the base of the storm literally in like a few minutes. So that is going to be excellent. Okay, my maps is being weird. Yeah, we're almost in bigger actually. Like, we're very close to bigger. Once we start to turn south, we're gonna know more about like these storms, be able to see them better. We're 10 kilometers from bigger at the moment. Just got the notification on my phone. I do know my thumbnail might actually be broken, because the last time that I did it, I looked back and I was like, oh no, the thumbnail was broken. Because for whatever reason, the app that I'm using, it doesn't upload the entire thumbnail. It only uploads half of it, which is super annoying. But yeah, I can't do much about that right now because I'm driving and I don't even know if it is broken or not. I'll check that later. But yes, so we're very close to bigger at the moment. We're coming in right now. But yeah, so like there's a lot of moisture still being sucked up into the air. Now, the wind shear I think is actually starting to increase on these storms, which is kind of wild actually. Because today there is not a risk. There wasn't really showing to be any wind shear. The trough sparking the storms was supposed to be decently weak. So I'm not really sure. Like, we have that speed wind shear right now, but nothing really more than that. Now there actually is on the storms, not the storms, but like all of the cumulus development near my house actually, which is farther north of here. There was actually a few funnel clouds that I saw, so it's going to be an interesting day. It's going to be hard to tell what these storms do, especially with just that we're not under them yet. But I do actually see some organized development. We do have a lot of storms growing, and there is definitely wind shear higher up in the atmosphere, because once they start to skyrocket up, they actually do start to show signs of rotating, which is perfect. It isn't strong rotation. It's not like, oh no, there's going to be tornadoes. It's like, no, like it's just showing the wind shear is increasing, and I'm hoping to see that increase more and more today. Now the one thing that could literally smack me in the face, so completely cut the storm chase off, is if that low pressure center begins to track east again. Because if it starts to track east again, the storms that are developing right now, they're probably going to be completely blown apart. Just because of all, like, the wind will very rapidly intensify, and it won't allow the storms to really organize themselves in a fashion that's actually severe. So that is a possibility of today. Not a very big possibility. Like, there is a small chance for that to happen, but there is a chance that could. So we'll have to see. But I actually can see right now quite a few different areas. One kind of to my northeast, more directly east, but that area could be a decent storm eventually. There's not a lot of instability on it, unfortunately, so it might not be able to grow severe. Like, there isn't a lot of area for it to grow. If the instability increases, though, that storm actually could be in the perfect environment to produce a tornado, which is shocking. But right now, that storm, I would guess it's to the north, it's to the northeast of Bigger. So I don't know. It's really hard to tell where it is. It's probably just north of Saskatoon right now. That's my guess on where it is. Might be able to have it on radar. I should have a new scan. But we'll have to see. Oh, my truck. Don't floor it, please. Okay, we're gonna slow down. Yeah, we're coming into Bigger now. So this is Bigger, Saskatchewan, folks. And I'm about to turn south. Yeah, we've got some weird storms going on down there, folks. And yeah, there actually is a storm developing up near Saskatoon. That's actually almost exactly where I said it was. Nice. Maybe I'll chase that one. Tops aren't very impressive at all on it. I do want to go down to the bigger fish. The ones down here, you can see that top and right there. So you can see kind of like the wind shear increasing. We're just basically getting higher numbers. Higher up in the atmosphere, these storms are looking pretty decent. Well, they're pushing north now. They're acting strangely. They're behaving in a weird way. My phone in direct sunlight. I really hope that it isn't. So I have just like two phones. One of them is for live streaming, and one of them is for literally everything else. So like recording without like the live stream camera, calling Environment Canada, like literally everything else is done on my actual phone. This is just my old phone that I got. Just like, oh well, whatever. I'll keep it. I can record off it, I can upload, I'll use it, and it works perfectly, so that's excellent. But as you can see, that right there down in that area is our prime storm, so that is our target right in front of us. There's kind of actually some more cumulus blocking it, but you actually can see the tops of it. Perfect. It's 100 up here. Yeah, that storm near Saskatoon is actually starting to pique my interest because there's actually wind shear on it. See, like, the atmosphere isn't super unstable over there, but it's developed, it's becoming organized. The only thing is, right behind that cell, there's actually another one that has just been cut off by its own updraft, so chances are the storms near Saskatoon are not likely going to produce anything. Maybe some small hail. That might be the most interesting thing. Strong hail. We'll see what happens when I get my next radar scan, but chances are that storm isn't going to be able to do very much. Now these storms down here, they've found like their own kind of little area of shear or something. They're getting big. Like there's a lot of new ones developing right in front of it. Those are the ones that I'm hoping will grow decently large. Wow. Yeah, this is a very strange day, folks. Very strange. Very, very. Yeah, the storms up near Saskatoon, they're basically they are dropping precipitation. There's kind of two separate cells, kind of. That scan was, only 5 minutes ago, so that's not very long. That's a decent time. I wish 5 minutes per scan would be perfect, but we don't have those luxuries up here in Canada. Now, they're like, these storms right now that we're chasing, they're sitting basically directly north of Saskatchewan Landing, which is interesting. Very interesting. Actually, there's some really big storms headed towards Moose Jaw right now. Those ones they're not really organized either, though, is the problem. They do appear to be along a boundary, which means that their organization could be a lot better, but it does look like that the storm's going like kind of towards like the Assiniboia area, Moose Jaw, those areas right now. Like that storm likely won't be able to get very large unless the wind shear can increase, which I don't see it increasing in that area, unfortunately, or I guess, well, fortunately, I guess. I'm looking on the radar, and where I was thinking the low pressure center might be, could be wrong actually. Oh wow. You know, actually, those ones are very close to the center of the low pressure system. I'm wondering if I should chase those storms. Those ones are acting very odd because they're pushing northwards, which doesn't usually happen, especially on days like this. So that actually could mean that the system is extremely quickly moving pretty much due north, which is weird. Or the low pressure center just rapidly intensified and moved very quickly again. Did another one of those switches. Oh, that lake smells atrocious. That was gross. We'll have to see. They're not super far from the main line of storms anyway. Then again, there's that one cell up near Saskatoon that's popped up and still perking my interest. Now we're gonna I know I can keep going south, and I'll basically have a straight shot back up into Saskatoon anyway. Now, I do believe that they won't be able to organize themselves though. at least up high in the atmosphere. How's the infrared? Approaching it on Moose Jaw, there's a big storm. That's interesting. We're gonna be, I mean, it's on the same route, so we'll have to see about those storms afterwards. Oh boy. Interesting. Triumph Road, I remember that road. This is the most boring part of a storm chase, especially when you're not allowed to play music because you'll get copyrighted. Yippee! Actually, those storms are getting pretty dang big now. They kind of are, like now they're starting to want to organize. yeah, now that we're getting closer, it's easier to actually see, and the instability is very high. And I actually do believe the wind shear, especially the directional wind shear, could be pretty intense. There were to be more wind shear today, there would be some pretty big storms right now. And like they're still growing. We just got to give them time. But if there were more wind shear and we had a trough, it's like a stronger trough associated with it, not just a low pressure center, it would be insane. Okay, I don't know who's watching this right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop this one so I can go. I'm just going to do it directly on YouTube today so I can fix my thumbnail, so I'll be right back. Probably. Yes, I will be right back because we're actually closing in on the storms.